भगवन्तु की
जय।
Hare. So we are in the home of Prananath Gopal Prabhu. Prananath Gopal Prabhu and Radhika Prema Madhuri. And Pratyush, who's Pratyush? Okay. Rishabh? Oh, Rishabh was singing now. Very good. So Pratyush plays Mridangam and Rishabh sings. Good team, both of you. So we are thankful to them for putting up the program this evening today. Every one of you. You play a little more. You can play harmonium for any tune. Want to give a try. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopidana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopidana Shri Giriraj ki, Shri Shri Gaurnatar ki, Shri Prabhupada ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuvunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagadanagunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Dalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminati Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Paritanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Please all respond. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 I wanted to share a very interesting story with you, at the end of which I will ask you some lessons you learned from it. Long before, long before, a king who was a very pious king, just like Chitraketu was a pious king, isn't it? Like that there was a very pious king. When he was always absorbed in his court activities, in his activities of the kingdom, a saintly person came to his place. So the king was certainly very pious, but when it came to the question of giving charity, he was giving charity surely. At the same time, his absorption in expanding his kingdom and expanding his elephants and horses and royal activities was so much that the saintly person had no scope for sitting with him, talking to him. The king said, please accept some charity and you push off. So the saint was thinking how to inspire this king to take to Krishna consciousness. That was his question. Anyway, the sadhu went away. But while going, the sadhu made one request to the king. He said, I know you are very busy, I don't want to disturb you, but I have one small request of you. Can you please identify a murkha or a fool in your country and just give him a stick? The sadhu gave him a stick and told him, just give the stick to him and ask him to go around the city, round and round. And for that, you have to pay him a monthly salary. Whatever, you fix an amount and you pay for him. The king said, that's it. It's a very easy job, I can do that surely for you. Don't worry, just give the stick, I'll do the needful. So he called the ministers and told them, this is the sadhu's desire. Arrange for finding out one of the best fools in the country and hand over the stick to him. So sadhus went around, ministers went around and found out one fellow who appeared to be like a great fool, was laughing to himself, appeared to be a crazy fellow. So they gave him the stick and told him, this is your job. Keep going round and round the city. Monthly once, at the end of the month, you can come and accept a salary. And it went on like that. And as the years passed, one day the king had got very old and he got very sickly. He became bedridden. He just couldn't even get up from the bed. At that time, the king understood that my body is in a degrading mode. Irreversibly, the body is falling apart. So now there is no possibility of my reviving the body. So sometimes you hear that somebody got some terrible disease, correct? No? Like a terminal disease, something. And the body is like, the disease is ravaging in their body. And the body is getting consumed. So the king immediately told that call all my relatives, friends, everybody, one by one. One last meeting I will have with all of them. So they all came. And the king also remembered, long before I had appointed one fool to go around the city. Call that fellow also. So he'll also come. So the fool came to meet the king. The king told him, my dear fool, I am going to a faraway place now. But you did your job well, so I thought of giving you, some retirement and some special pension and gratuity, provident fund, everything. So therefore I have called you also. All my relatives have come. So I wanted to meet you also, therefore I called you. And the fool asked him, my dear king, why did you take me with you? And the king said, no, sorry, I cannot take you with me. I have to go alone, he said. And the fool asked, I think you are not taking me with you because I know the secret. I think you want to take your queens with you, he said. And the king said, no, I can't take any of my queens with me. Then the fool said, generally when you go out, such great personalities like you always accompany somebody. Okay, if you don't want to take the queens with you, at least you're going to faraway place, there will be no one to cook for you. Carry some food, carry some gold coins, and also travel in a chariot. You don't have to walk a long distance. And the king said, I can't carry any of this with me. I can't go in a chariot, I can't take the wealth, I can't carry a single gold coin. And the fool appeared very surprised. You accumulated so much wealth. You had so many elephants, so many horses, so many kingdoms, so much big treasury. You can't carry any of that with you. And the king said, no, I can't touch even one gold coin with me when I am going, he said. The king said, don't ask me these questions more and more. It makes me more and more painful. So he said, I just called you to give you some gift. The king said, enough of your service you have done all these years. Now you hand over your stick to a greater fool than you. And then you can take up a pension and you can relax, he said. So find out somebody and bring him to me quickly and then you can relax after that, he said. So the fool took the stick and gave it to the king. King was like wild. What do you mean? Do you mean to say I am a greater fool than you? And the fool said, yes, my dear king. All these years, didn't you know that all these things which you are accumulating, you won't take even a single penny with you? So who can be greater fool than you for accumulating all these things? You're going to go with empty hands now. How much time you wasted in accumulating these things? So, therefore I don't find a greater fool than you. You are going to leave behind your queens, your elephants, your horses, your palace, your extent possible. He went to all the movies. He went to the best of the hotels and he ate. He went to all possible entertainment spots. And he enjoyed his life as much as he could. And he was exhausting the money. And 1 month passed, he was still not dying. And then 1 more month he lived. And I asked the doctor, please tell me, if I go on enjoying like this, my money will get exhausted and that is not. The doctor said, even I am also surprised because sometimes even doctors come today. And he exhausted all the money, again he had to start earning again. So I am telling you, any ordinary mortal would think of enjoying life like that. If he is given a death notice. Only a devotee like Parikshit Maharaj, Immediately woke up. He said, in the 7 days I will do the best thing. He went to the bank of the Ganges. He heard from the saintly people and surrounded by saintly people. He heard from Shivadeva Goswami. He became fearless completely. So a real thing happened in Hyderabad recently. There was one Mataji called Barsana Rani Mataji. She and her husband are doctor. And her side and husband's side also, there are many, many doctors in their family. It's a very big doctor's family. Their son is also a doctor. And he works in America only. So one of the days, her husband called me and said, Rajambu, my wife, he was telling that suddenly we took her to hospital. He says there is some problem with the intestine. And doctors are suspecting something. And I'll call you in the afternoon and talk to you. Please offer a prayer and all that he said. And then he called up afternoon and said the doctors want to perform some surgery. But during that time they found that she has a 4th stage cancer. The doctors say that, she will not survive for many months. Probably maybe even few days also. So when he heard that, he was like shattered. He couldn't take it. It was too much for him. But when his wife heard that, she had a big smile on her face. She said, really? Parikshit was given 7 days notice, and for me, the doctor doesn't know how many days I will live. But I am very happy that I will only live for a few days. And then she said, I have been reading Krishna book. So many pastimes of Krishna I heard. Whenever I touch the Krishna book, I feel so happy. Krishna's beautiful Yamuna, and the Kalpavruksha trees, and the beautiful cows, the spiritual world, and also the Gopas, the Gopis, Govardhan. She said, every time I read I feel, when will the time come when I can go to this place and meet that beautiful personality Krishna? But now the number of days, I have to just count down a few more days. Very soon, I am going to get access to this ultimate truth that I have been hearing from Prabhupada's books and my spiritual master. She had a big beaming smile on the face. So nobody could believe somebody could respond like this, like the way she responded. So her son was here in US. When they gave the news, the son was actually shattered. And then he wanted to come, but he had a commitment in America. In America, you know that in a hospital, if you have given a commitment, you can't escape. So he came to know the news on 26th December. But the commitment was up to 3rd January. He couldn't escape. He told the mother that I will be able to reach by 5th January. She said, no, don't worry, my son. I will try to stay longer if I can. But if Krishna wills that I have to go, even if you find me dead also, don't worry. I am safe. Because my spiritual master spoke to me on phone. And he encouraged me and he inspired me. And here all the devotees in Hyderabad are around me. And I have nothing to fear. You should do your duty. You come whenever you can. No problem, she said. And I have nothing to fear. You should do your duty. You come whenever you can. No problem, she said. And I told her on 1st January when I was leaving India and to come to America, I told Marcia I have to go to America. But I have arranged a lot of devotees to be with you. Don't worry. They will all be doing kirtan. And any chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam you wish to hear, you can tell them. So when devotees read different chapters, she requested. She wanted to hear that Yajnik Brahmana's wives chapter. Like that she requested certain chapters. So they were reading. And she said, oh Rajampu, there is nothing to fear. Many devotees here are in so much anxiety. I don't know why should one be in anxiety. She said, I have been in the I have been taking millions of lives in this world. And in this lifetime, I got a spiritual master. And I got Prabhupada's books. And I got all of you devotees. And I lived a very happy spiritual life. Now I am finishing my term in this horrible material body. And I am going back to Krishna. So why to worry? And she was telling me, you have a safe journey. And of course, I didn't tell her that I want. The purpose of preserving life is not to just to prolong our life. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a very nice question asked by Srila Prabhupada. He says the redwood trees in the world, sometimes they live for 7,000 years also. 5,000 years or 7,000 years. And Prabhupada is comparing that long duration of life to Shankaracharya who lived only 32 years. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived only 48 years. So compare their lives, how much different it is. But these personalities like Shankara and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they lived such a high quality lives, and they had such impact on the human society all over the world, that for all time to come they have made a deep impression even after they have gone back also. Is it not true? On the other hand, these trees, 7,000-year-old trees, they have seen Lord Krishna 5,000 years ago coming and going back. They have seen 2,500 years ago Buddha coming and going. Jesus has come and gone. And the trees are just standing like that only, without any difference. So, therefore in Bhagavatam there is a verse which says, Kim pramattasya bahubir parokshairhayanairiha param muhurtam viditam ghatate shreyase yataha. One moment of transcendental thought is by far superior than a long wounded life of colossal waste with no transcendental thought. Like that it says. So, short duration of life with Krishna remembrance is far superior to a long duration of life with no Krishna remembrance. That's the meaning of that. So, the human life is very, very important. So, in one class I was telling, human life means heavy responsibility. So, I asked the people, what is the heavy responsibility? So, one gentleman said, Sir, my heavy responsibility is over. He said, I said, what is it? I had 2 daughters and 1 son, and 2 daughters are married now. Now I am peaceful now. I have no more responsibility. Then I asked others, anybody else, what is heavy responsibility? One fellow said, my son was always irresponsible in his studies. With great difficulty I arranged for tuition and somehow made him an engineer. Now someone other has got IT job now. Now he's settled in job now. Now my responsibility is over. Another fellow was saying. So most people in India are very responsible for their family members. And they have a lot of family values, as you know. They are very caring for the family members and concerned about the family members, which is also necessary. You can't say it is useless. It is very important also. But they stop with that, thinking that that is the highest responsibility. I was, in my school days, I watched one video of a lion teaching a cub how to catch its prey. So the lion showed a deer, come, let's both of us run together. So father lion and son lion both are running. And the son lion was a little lazy, slowly was running. And the father said, hey, if you slowly run, you won't get the food. You have to chase. And still the son wasn't that serious. So then the father lion hit the deer a little bit in the beak. And they also have society, like you see the honeybees. You've seen honeybees? They have queen bee, they have drone, they have worker bees. They do all that. They are very, very coordinated way they function. They have society also. And they also build their, like you see a weaver bird, how it makes its nest. They know how to make their house like we make our houses. They know how to train their children, like we train our children for fighting with the world around us. So that way animals, whatever they do, they are also quite sound in these things. But the real heavy responsibility in human form of life is explained by Srila Prabhupada and Ishoprishat very wonderfully. That was like a turning point for me when I read the first time the Ishoprishat. Prabhupada says, observe the world around you and learn this lesson. Have any of you seen a hen, small hen in India? I've seen it's like yellow or pinkish color, small. Any of you seen that?
Yeah.
Who has seen it? You've seen that? Yeah, small. It looks like it's very soft, there is a candy. Candy is also soft like that. You've seen that? They make candy like this. English, what do you call it? Cotton candy. Yeah, cotton.
Candy
Very
floss.
soft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Candy
So,
floss, yeah.
Candy?
Floss.
Candy floss. So it look similar to that. The small hen looks like that. Very sweet looking. But that hen, when it is eating some grains in a dustbin or somewhere, you've seen that they will see like that? Any of you have seen that?
Yeah.
So why they see like that?
Fear.
There is always fear that some cat or dog may come and catch me by the neck and take me away. So the birds and animals, their economic necessities are fulfilled only under unpleasant conditions. Prabhupada says, the life is full of threat. Like a deer, it has to go to drink water in some water body. But that's where behind the bush the tiger is hiding. The tiger knows this fellow has to come after eating grass, he has to come here only. So sometimes the deer goes with a group of deers, but it has to sometimes take a detour and go and drink water sometimes. It's very, very, as soon as you hear while drinking water also the deer will keep, deer has the eyes, how the eyes move, you can see in the video sometimes. It's very attentive. And deer is given a very special ability to escape the tiger. So there is always threat for eating or drinking water, things like that. And what about sleeping? Like a donkey is sleeping in a washerman's house in the backyard or somewhere. But in the early morning, the washerman gets up and brings a stick and beats him up. Get up now, you foolish donkey. You have to carry the clothes to the riverside. So imagine if somebody beats you to sleep, how bad you will feel. Isn't it? Sleeping is a very comfortable time, isn't it? So the donkey is beaten up and woken up when he is sleeping. He can't sleep peacefully. Therefore, while going to sleep at night only, he is afraid. I don't know what time this fellow will beat me tomorrow. He has to sleep like that. Yeah. In the same manner, once Prabhupada observed a pack of dogs. Wow, 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 wow. They were all barking. Prabhupada told the devotees, look at these dogs. They can't control their senses. A dozen dogs are chasing after one she-dog. And they are clearing each other's bodies. Look at their blood in their bodies. They fight like anything for mating. They can't live peacefully. But in human society, you will see one man marries one woman. And typically you will see in India, they put a kumkum here. No? Put a kumkum here, that means she's a married woman. Everybody should treat her like a mother. So nobody, even if a woman is good looking, a man who sees her with a kumkum, he will see her like goddess of fortune, Lakshmi. She becomes respectable by all. So in human society, man is not supposed to fight like that, like the dogs. But in dog society, you can see, for one she-dog, there are a dozen dogs chasing. And a big bulldog will come. He will say, hey, all of you get lost. He will take her and go. Another bigger bulldog will kick this fellow also. They will always fight like that, you will see that. Yeah. So, whether it is eating or sleeping or mating, animals' conditions are fulfilled under nasty and unpleasant conditions, he says. But in a typical Vedic life, when I was a small kid, I clearly, visibly remember even now, how peacefully we used to eat. My father would be sitting, and myself, my three sisters, everybody will come together at least 2 times a day, morning and night, morning and evening time. We will all take prasadam together. My mother will be serving everybody. Of course, my mother would be fanning also, all of us. In those days, there was a hand fan. We didn't have this fan in that times. So she would be fanning all. After all of us finish, then only she will eat. She will cook. And so while we were eating together, naturally there is talk amongst the family members. You naturally exchange love and you develop a thick bond in that. Yeah. It was a peaceful thing, not like this hen, cook, 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 cook. You don't have to fear while eating. Is anybody going to catch you by the neck? There's no fear. It's a very peaceful life. So sleeping also, your mother, father are more concerned about you than yourself. If it is very cool winter, they will arrange for a sweater for you. And they will arrange a very nice bedding for you. And they put you to sleep. You can sleep very nicely, comfortably. Similarly, in human society, there is a system of marriage. When man and woman marry, they can live peacefully. Everybody lives in a house, husband, wife, children, they can live peacefully. But you will see in the modern day society, man's life is not so cool as I'm saying. You can see nowadays people are eating fast foods. Like I'm seeing in Pune, in the IT park, they have this type of vertical thing with a round one, like the people eat out. They eat, stand and eat. Actually, in my home, my father would shout to me, he would never allow me to stand and eat. He would always say, you should sit down and eat. But now I'm seeing, I was there in Boston also, outside Massachusetts, MIT, we had put a book table. So I see many of the boys, girls are going, while going on, they are eating and going. Running, run. Everybody's on a run nowadays. Life has become very busy. So people are gulping down very fastly. Fast eating. Similarly, they can't sleep peacefully. In those days, for the first time I saw there was something called as pager. How many of you heard about pager? Even before mobiles came. Pager came. So one boy told me, Prabhuji, my company respects me so much, they have given me a pager. So he used to put pager here. And then he went to bathroom to pass water. And he came running outside. Then he had to attend to the message. Then he told, ever since company gave me this facility, I can't peacefully pass water also. Isn't it? So in the night also, in the midnight you may get a call. You say, new client has come. Immediately get up, immediately. You are immediately wanted. Sir, I have to sleep. Yes, you finish the job and then sleep. So you will see that we are being chased. Nowadays we are working across the globe with. I was thinking only Indians are working at 5 o'clock in the evening. They start till midnight. They work till 12. So once you come to America, your life is very cool. I thought. But here also, some IT people told me, here also they have to be up by 11 o'clock or 12 some other days. Especially between 9 to 11 you have to be awake, they were saying, to follow up with Indians, they were saying. And sometimes early morning also you have to get up. You can't get a good sound sleep, they were saying. I don't know why you all may understand better because you are watching other people. So, some people are doing 3 jobs. Some people are doing 2 jobs. There are boys coming here to study in America. Daytime they go to college and morning and evening they do job. One boy was telling me he works from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. in a hotel. And then only he can pay for the college fee, very hefty fee, college fee. So people's lives have become so demanding, you can see that they can't sleep peacefully. And in the same manner, about mating, if you see one man marrying a woman and one can live peacefully, provided they keep God in the center. But if people don't keep God in the center, you will see that a man marries a woman and then they both have too many expectations from one another, they don't respect one another, they don't trust one another, they're suspicious about each other's character and then a man thinks, oh, my wife is not sufficiently good looking, I will go for another beautiful girl. So he divorces his wife and goes to another. When he goes to another, then he comes to know she has many promiscuous relationships with many others. Then he divorces her. Sometimes people change a dozen partners. And the family life is in shambles. They can't live peacefully. So, and also nowadays people are changing spouses like you don't like one machine, you buy another machine. One model is outdated, you buy a new model. There's no respect between the people. Especially when one doesn't have Krishna at the center of life. So then life becomes extremely complicated. Actually, if one has a wife and children and a very peaceful and balanced life, it gives a lot of security also. But like Chandra was once telling in Pune, he was telling, morning when you go, you can't be sure whether your job will be there. When you come back in the evening, you can't be sure whether wife will be there. If that is the condition, how can you live peacefully in this world? Isn't it? Anybody can run away with anybody. So, therefore, 3 things I told you. So, first I told you about animals' necessities are fulfilled only under nasty and unpleasant conditions. I told you, right? Many examples I told you. Then I told you human life is very peaceful, provided you are leading a Vedic type of life. Then thirdly, I told you human life is also not peaceful. It is almost like animal life if one is not leading a Vedic life. Correct? That means there are 2 types of life. This is Suras, this is Asuras type of life. So animal's life is like this. And when you become a human being means you follow the 4 regulative principles. No illicit sex, no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling. Then from animal you can come to human. And you chant Hare Krishna, read Bhagavad Gita, worship the Lord. Then you can go from human to divine. So animal to human and human to divine. And the more you go high, life becomes more and more peaceful and more balanced, and one can really experience the joy of, the true joy of inner life, fulfillment and everything. So, to begin with, one should live at least a human life, and then you can go for a divine life. So, therefore, Srila Prabhupada, even when he came to America, fearlessly Prabhupada instituted the 4 regulative principles. One goldsmith, while starting Iskcon's incorporation, he said, Swami, instead of 4, you can make it 3, he said. The 4th one, the illicit sex, if you institute, you may not get many followers. Prabhupada said, I have not come here to just please the people. I have to speak the truth, he said. It is there in Ilamrita. You will read it. So, why Prabhupada instituted this? For a human to, first of all, have a peaceful life. And when the mind is peaceful, balanced, then taking to chanting of Hare Krishna and studying the scriptures and morning aartis performing, and then advancing spiritual life. Then you go to divine life. And when you go to divine life, the divine life is very, very joyful, even on this, on the earth, even in this world. If one is very Krishna conscious, like Krishna says, Sattva-guna produces, it illuminates all your senses. And I first heard it, I was wondering, what is this illuminating the senses? Is there some light in my eyes? There will be light glowing in each of the senses. What is the meaning of illuminating our senses? Which means eyes don't like to see impure things. Eyes want to grasp the pure things. It's like children, there are children trained by parents in the home, you find they like to go in front of the deities and bow down because they have got very good sanskaras. Yeah, similarly, when you are eating, you want to only eat prasad. If it is not prasad, they will not touch it. Similarly, you only want to hear Krishna Katha. You don't want to hear any impure things. If somebody is talking prajalpa, somebody is talking blasphemy, your ears will rebel. It means yes to Krishna, no to Maya. Similarly, yes to Krishna, no to Maya. Yes to Krishna, no to Maya. Each of the senses. Then our senses are illuminated. So, when we live the divine human life, our senses become illuminated. So, in this way, the Prabhupada says the example of a High Court judge versus a clerk. Two people, he is saying. Look at High Court judge. He's just sitting, looking here, looking there, and just is putting just one or two lines on the paper. And he gets, like monthly he may get $10,000 or $20,000, like that he may get big money. On the other hand, if you take a clerk, Prabhupada says, he may just get $1,000, but he does more hard work. He's putting rubber stamp, you see that? So who is working more hard? The clerk or the High Court judge? The clerk is working very hard. But the hard-working fellow gets only $1,000. High Court is getting $20,000. Why? What is the reason for that? Yeah? Actually, although he is working hard less, but he is still doing a very responsible job. It's a quality job he is doing. In the same manner, Papa is saying, we are like High Court judge and the animals are like clerk. They work hard and they struggle in this world. We all can come little inside. There's a lot of people not having space to sit there. You can come in the front. So, like for example, Mercedes-Benz is supposed to fly on a smooth road. Can you use Mercedes-Benz for plowing a field? For plowing a field, you use a tractor, isn't it? Like buffalo. The tractor is like a buffalo's body. But human body is like a Mercedes-Benz. So the smooth road is actually the path of the Vedas that one should follow in human form of life. So, what is the first lesson that we should learn in human form of life? Krishna teaches in the Bhagavad Gita that Arjuna, know the difference between matter and spirit. Out of the two, matter is inferior, spirit is superior. Like you can see an aeroplane standing in an airport. Million years it can stand, it will not budge an inch. But if one spirit soul, one pilot walks towards the plane, climbs up, sits in the cockpit, immediately the plane takes off. As soon as the spirit touches matter, the matter gets activated. Like you see, when I was a small kid, my father used to give key to a car, the car toy, and leave it, and it will go. We used to run behind the car. So I used to wonder how the car is running. Because my father is spirit and the car is matter. So he loaded the matter with some spring and then it is moving. So when the spirit touches matter, then the matter is activated. You can see that. So our body is like a gloves over the hand. If you see a gloves over the hand, if you move the fingers, the gloves appears to be moving. Is the gloves having life? No. When you remove the hand, the gloves just falls. Similarly, the soul is animating this body. Even now our bodies are not living. You know that? Even now. Our bodies is simply a lump of matter which is deposited over the soul. If the soul gets out of the body will just drop dead. It's not an exaggeration to say, our body, just like you bring a gulab jamun in a carry bag and you keep the gulab jamun in a plate, and what do you do with the carry bag? It goes straight to dustbin. Similarly, out of the which is important? Carry bag is important or gulab jamun is important? Gulab jamun is important. Both are important. For example, you bring TV in a cardboard box with the packaging of thermocol. One time in our compound school, one fellow brought TV. All the children started coming behind, walking with the box. They put the box inside, they opened the box and they took out the TV and kept on the table. And then the children saw that inside the box there was thermocol packaging. And all the kids were asking, Uncle, can we get one of those pieces? And uncle took out the thermocol and gave. And the children very reverentially accepted it and went, Uncle, such a good uncle, he gave us this. Asking is a very important thing. In the same manner, people in the world, people who are attracted to bodies are like attracted to thermocol packaging, that's all. Yeah, because out of the two, thermocol and the TV is more important, right? Thermocol just packaging. Similarly, this metal body is a packaging over the soul. Otherwise, metal body, so body is made up of flesh and bones and all this horrible, abominable substances, inside which the soul is trapped in this body. So, therefore, this is one of the first considerations in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna taught. First, Krishna taught and teaches identity, then he teaches mentality, then he teaches alignment towards the end, you will see. In the beginning of the Gita, he teaches identity. What is my real identity? One has to contemplate on this. Only human being can understand this. Nobody else, no cats or dogs cannot understand this. In San Francisco, Haight-Ashbury Street, Prabhupada was once giving lecture. At that time, they used to have this poles outside for tying the dogs on one pole and cats on the other. So when Roger was coming to the program, Roger, you know who is Roger? Roger became later on Gurudas Prabhu later on. So when he was coming for the program, so he used to always think, why Swamiji is saying you should tie the dogs outside? Why can't we take our pets inside? He was thinking this question in the mind. When Prabhupada came to the class, all students were sitting inside. Prabhupada had a stick with him. And he would see that the dogs and cats are just blocking the door. Like that, he would tap them, so they would move to the side. And then Prabhupada came inside. And he came and sat in the seat. As soon as he took the mic, the first thing he said, this Krishna consciousness movement is not for the cats and dogs. It is for human beings. Therefore, you all are inside. You all are sitting and listening to this because you can understand. Cats and dogs, they cannot understand. He said. So, this is the first thing to understand. Matter, spirit, difference. One should know. This is the first responsibility of any human being. Know the difference between matter and spirit. And once we know this difference, you will know what is a smaller picture of life and a bigger picture of life. For example, if a child is playing in a seashore and making sandcastles, that sandcastle becomes a very great reality for the child as long as he is in the seashore, isn't it? When we all used to make sandcastles in the seashore. And then parents may come and tell the child, oh, it's getting dark now, we are going home, come now. So what do you do with the sandcastle? You just dust your hands and go with the parents. So our relationship is with the seashore or with the parents? Tell me. The parents. In the same way, the divine couple, Radha and Krishna, they will call us, when we, actually our term is over in this world, we have no business with this world. This material world is like a seashore. Everybody is building their own sandcastles. Somebody is an engineer, somebody is a doctor, somebody is a chartered accountant, and somebody has his own .com company, or somebody is an entrepreneur, and somebody is a multi-millionaire or whatever. But you build whatever sandcastle you want, but a day will come and you'll have to dust it and leave the body and go to the next destination. So we should know this is our relationship with the material world is a smaller picture. Our relationship with Radha and Krishna, that is a bigger picture of life. So we should always keep both these pictures in mind. We should not get too much absorbed in the smaller picture of life, forgetting the bigger picture. Then we become stuck in this world. In Pune to Bombay, there's a train which goes. So one Grihastha devotee was telling me, he was going to Bombay to attend some program in Bombay, Bhagavatam class or something. In the early morning he got a train. Of course he was a new person, he was just coming to the temple. Many other devotees are going, so he also wanted to go. He was just standing one round, he was standing. So when the train went up to Lonavala, there's a place called Lonavala Hill Station. And that place there is one item which is very famous called chikki, they call it. You know chikki? Chikki means what do you call that in English?
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter. Peanut butter? Fudge.
Brittle.
Fudge. Brittle one, yes. So people, that is very famous, Lonavala. So when he was sitting in the train, he saw through the window there was a shop which was selling that. So he got down from the train stopped. He went to the shop. But the problem is, the shopkeeper was showing 4 or 5 varieties, because some are with cashew also, some are with groundnuts. Like that he showed 3 or 4 varieties to him. So he was choosing which one is costly, which is less costly. So by the time he purchased one of it and turned around, train was not there. The train had gone away. He missed it. So later on his friend told him, he did a foolish thing. See, when you are going to buy something, getting off the train, you should have one eye on the train, one eye on the thing which you want to purchase. Later on this fellow became so careful, he said, I will never get off the train. From the window only I will purchase. So the same manner, we all are sitting in the train back to Godhead. Which is the train back to Godhead? Iskcon. You are Iskcon devotee now. You are with the devotees. That is the train. Hundreds and thousands of people are going in the train. You are also with them. But sometimes what happens, some material responsibility comes in our life. We think, for some time I will not be a serious devotee. Let me do this. Let me make some financial situation little better. And then anyway devotees are there, Iskcon is there. Nilamada, where is going to go? He will be there. He's always on one place only, he will be standing available here. That's a big temple. I can always come back. We think like that. And then we become a little busy, and then we get carried away so much that we get lost. In this world we can get lost if you are careless, you see. So therefore, while fulfilling our material responsibilities, we should have one eye on them, another eye on Nilamada's lotus feet. Or in other words, you can say, you better be in the train, be with devotees and learn the art of managing the material life while being a seriously practicing devotee. Where there is a will, Krishna shows the way. Where there is a will, because he says, Dadami buddhi yogam tam, yenamam payanti te. I will show you the way by which you can come back to me, he says. Yeah. Like we say, do your best, and then, the second part in Gita, where Krishna says, do your best. Of course, some people say, do your best and leave the rest. Krishna says, do your best and let Krishna do the rest. Ultimately, he is the ultimate way. I can sow the seed, he has to give rains. Now, if he doesn't give rains, how can the seeds germinate? So I will do my part and he will do his part. So our part is this. This is our responsibility. First, you know the difference between matter and spirit. Then know the relationship of spirit and supreme spirit. And knowing that relationship, we have to hold on to the relationship by chanting Hare Krishna, reading Bhagavatam daily, staying in the company of devotees, never leaving the shelter of devotees. In human form of life, it is very, very essential. And one of the ways by which we become very stable devotees is to take engagements, seva engagements, like preaching, for example, or service to the deities, or some devotees dress Prabhupada, some devotees dress the deities, some devotees cook for the deities, some devotees make garland for the deities, some devotees make ornaments for the deities, some devotees take up some service, like a guest reception service. Today when I went to the temple, one couple was sitting there, one elderly family was sitting, they were welcoming us. I was very happy to see that somebody is available there to receive the guests, people who are coming to temple. Because many new people come, they don't know about the temple, you can tell them about the temple and introduce them to the deities and then make them devotees. Yeah. So therefore, we all have the responsibility to protect ourselves and also extend ourselves to protect others also, other devotees also, by preaching and creating a very nice community. And so the human life is not an ordinary gift, it's a very rare gift, rarest of the rare gift. Prabhupada says that I'll just show you one. Traversing is
The Four Wives. Merchant who had four wives. He loved the fourth wife the most, and adorned her with rich robes and treated her to delicacies. He took great care of her and gave her nothing but the best. He also loved the third wife very much. He's very proud of her and always wanted to show off her to his friends. However, the merchant is always in great fear that she might run away with some other man. He too loved his second wife. She is a very considerate person, always patient, and in fact is the merchant's confidant. Whenever the merchant faced some problems, he always turned to his second wife, and she would always help him out and tide him through difficult times. Now the merchant's first wife is a very loyal partner and has made great contributions in maintaining his wealth and business, as well as taking care of the household. However, the merchant did not love the first wife, and although she loved him deeply, he hardly took notice of her. One day, the merchant fell ill. Before long, he knew that he was going to die soon. He thought of his luxurious life and told himself, "Now I have four wives with me, but when I die, I'll be alone. How lonely I'll be." Thus, he asked the fourth wife, "I love you most, endowed you with the finest clothing and showered great care over you. Now that I'm dying, will you follow me and keep me company?" "No way," replied the fourth wife, and she walked away without another word. The answer cut like a sharp knife right into the merchant's heart. The sad merchant then asked the third wife, "I have loved you so much for all of my life. Now that I'm dying, will you follow me and keep me company?" "No," replied the third wife. "Life is so good over here. I'm going to remarry when you die." The merchant's heart sank and turned cold. He then asked the second wife, "I always turn to you for help, and you always help me out. Now I need your help again. When I die, will you follow me and keep me company?" "I'm sorry, I can't help you out this time," replied the second wife. "At the very most, I can only send you to your grave." The answer came like a bolt of thunder, and the merchant was devastated. Then a voice called out, "I'll leave with you. I'll follow you no matter where you go." The merchant looked up, and there was his first wife. She was so skinny, almost like she suffered from malnutrition. Greatly grieved, the merchant said, "I should have taken much better care of you while I could have. Actually, we all have four wives in our lives. The fourth wife is our body. No matter how much time and effort we lavish in making it look good, it'll leave us when we die. Our third wife, our possessions, status, and wealth. When we die, they all go to others. The second wife is our family and friends. No matter how close they had been there for us when we were alive, the furthest they can stay by us is up to the grave. The first wife is in fact our soul, often neglected in our pursuit of material, wealth, and sensual pleasure. Guess what? It is actually the only thing that follows us wherever we go."
Actually, that is super soul, what is calling as a soul. Okay, anybody can say, who is the fourth wife? Our body. At the time of death, our body leaves us. And the body is burned in the grave, and the soul comes out with his mind, where he stores his unfulfilled desires. And then he is given one more body, correct? No? Later on. And who is the third wife? Possessions like wealth, a car, a laptop, bungalow, and all facilities, amenities, or possessions and all. And the possessions told that, okay, you are gone, I will go to someone else. Your bank balance becomes someone else's money. It's no more your money after that. Who is the second wife? Family, friends, relatives. They can at the most, like a wife goes to the door, and the relatives may go up to the graveyard. When the body is burning, they'll go away. But the first wife is super soul. The super soul is Krishna, who is residing in our heart, And he is the only friend who will come with us, even beyond the graveyard also. When the soul comes out of the body and is going to he doesn't even know where to go, next destination. Super soul takes him. Like a father taking a son, a daughter. Like that, the super soul takes us to the next destination. And always the super soul accompanies us. So, but the most amazing, strange thing in this world is, Lord is right next to us, we don't look at Him. We become too much preoccupied with so many other busy things in this world. So intelligent human being is one who turns his face towards the Lord and then starts asking Lord, how can I serve you? Please tell me. In the fourth canto of Bhagavatam, when King Malayadwaja died, his wife Vaidehi started loudly crying in the forest. That time the Super Soul came in the form of a Brahman and told, why are you crying? You are never alone. You and me, we are like two swans in the same lake. So your heart is like a lake and we both are residing in the same heart. So I am always accompanying you, you are never alone. Be confident. And you can always turn to me for knowledge. And when you can't hear from me, then I come as your spiritual master and I give you the knowledge. So spiritual master is like an amplifier of the Super Soul. Whatever Super Soul speaks, same thing Guru speaks, but he tells us in a way more easily understandable. So therefore the sound vibration, it is said the spiritual master lives in his sound vibration and the follower lives with him, it is said. If you hold on to the sound vibration, Vani, and the instructions of the Guru. So Srila Prabhupada actually wanted us to not only study his books but also distribute his books. He also not only wanted us to live a life of Krishna consciousness, but he wanted us to gift this life of Krishna consciousness to many, many suffering souls. So he wanted us to become attached to the deities of Krishna rather than become attached to the material possessions of the material world. He wanted us to mold our life in such a way. Prabhupada says in one of the purports, all devotees in Iskcon worldwide, they rise by 4 a.m. Prabhupada says that. It's in purport, one of the purports. Whenever he says like that, we have to know that he is expecting that from us. You know that. So we have to sleep early, rise early, and perform all our morning chores of spiritual duties. So, in this way, in case, let us assume that I have still material desires, I didn't perfect my human life, still Krishna keeps his devotees very well. Imagine a devotee who failed in Krishna consciousness, having material desires, he is sent to heaven. He goes to Indraloka where he lives there, he gives shape to his material desires there. Afterwards, when he comes down from the heaven, where is he born? In the family of Brahmanas or in the family of rich aristocratic people. That means Krishna keeps his devotees always nice. Even if you have material desires also. Imagine if you have no material desires, go to Bhuloka to Goloka. Or if you had material desires, you go to heaven. Heaven also life is not very bad. It's a very nice life. And after that, exhausting material desires, you are born in a Brahmana family where you get good sanskars you get. Or you are born in a rich family, you have no worry about food or anything. I go to many rich people's family in Pune, I see they have Radheshyam deities, Agarwal family and all, you will see that. So the child gets very good sanskars there also. That means you will see, once you commit to Krishna, then Krishna, you take one step towards him, he comes 10 steps towards you. So therefore, we should not miss this opportunity, which is a very rare opportunity given to us in this human form of life. Let's perfect our life by understanding how we can liberate ourselves from this terrible material world. Anadi karma phale padiva varna vajade taribare nade ki upai. Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings this song. I heard a very nice explanation by a devotee. He said, the ant fell from the top of a tree branch in the river, and it started being tossed by the waves of the river. It was drowning. The ant has no scope to escape. But one dove was sitting in the top of the tree branch. It plucked one leaf and threw it down so that the ant can take shelter. So the ant took shelter of the leaf, and the leaf gradually reached the shores of the bank. And then from the bank, it again climbed up the tree again. So what is the analogy said here? We are like the ant, and the river is the samsara where we have come now. And the dove is the spiritual master of Prabhupada, such acharyas. They are taking pity on us and they are throwing the leaf of the path of devotional service. Navavida Bhakti and all the books, deities of the Lord, devotees association, so many things Prabhupada has gifted us, that's like the leaf. accept the leaf of Iskcon lifestyle, beautiful lifestyle, and reach the shores of the samsara, and then again go back home, back to Godhead. That's the goal of life. So I want to thank Prananath Gopal Prabhu, Radhika Prema Mataji, and their wonderful, two wonderful children for giving us opportunity to come together and discuss some Krishna Katha this evening. Also we have Aisa Gurbhakti Mataji is here, Prabhu is here. Very nice to meet you. They were in Pune. You had a nice time in Pune, Mataji?
Yes.
They took nice care of you?
Very nice.
Prabhu had a nice time?
Wonderful.
You can always come, you are most welcome. Whenever you come to India, you can consider Pune like your home. You can just give a call to Revatipati Prabhu. Revati is a very fine gentleman. A very nice devotee. You have his number, just tell him that you are coming, and you don't have to have any reservations. You just tell him, arrange a room for us, and you will do it. You're most welcome, thank you. So, I can sing 5 minutes, or you want to ask questions, or you want to share any reflections. You can share with anything which you would like to say. You can come out this one. Yeah. Just you like to Mata, you can add something.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for the class. You made what we always hear, which is dry, very juicy. So, and by telling stories, so it helps us imbibe it better. And I also want to thank you so much for what you are doing in Pune. You know, we have this concept of smart boxes or smart table, where the books sell themselves. So Pune temple is a smart temple. The whole temple is arranged in such a way that if you walk in, you learn about Prabhupada, you learn about Dhruva Maharaj, you learn about Pranad Maharaj. There's no way you can escape. And every pillar in the temple is a message from Srila Prabhupada. So if someone, and everyone who walks up, pretty much everyone, we're staying on the 3rd floor, practically everyone has a book. And therefore they have been leading book distributors globally for 3 years in a row. And the Prabhupada and the Vaishnava culture is so beautiful there. The devotees are so, then I understand why although Ananteshwar Prabhu stays here, his heart is in Pune. That's so attached.
You gave a class for the devotees there?
Yes, in the Brahmacharya ashram of Taman Krishna Maharaj Sannyas.
Prabhu, you gave a class for a devotee?
Yes. I found that the mood of Radheshyam was there in the care of the devotees, and the mood of Krishna was in the mood of sharing the knowledge of Krishna consciousness with everyone else through the books. So, and the blessing of Balaji was there. Beautiful deity of Balaji is part of the temple, and somehow it's just a wonderful combination of positive Krishna conscious elements. So it's very inspiring what you're doing, and I understand you want to help devotees in America and also, work together intelligently. And, it's a very great gift you're giving from Prabhupada, Radha Swami, and Gopal Krishna Maharaj, and all the Vaishnavas there. So it was a wonderful experience for us. Thank you so much.
Your doctor and everything was good, no? Is that?
Yes, thank you.
They are available on the phone also for you.
Yes.
Anybody wishes to share any reflection or questions or anything? Generally I ask for 3 things, devotees. Either you can ask a question, or you can share a reflection, or you can recollect one striking point that is a takeaway point for you. Okay, who would like some hand was up there? You can go there so far.
I can speak loudly.
Yeah, good. Yeah. It's inbuilt mic, yeah, go for it.
Welcome to Texas. I saw your video sometime back. You mentioned the 10 centers, which is your focus point in USA.
Correct.
3 in the East Coast, 3 in the West Coast. calling for volunteers.
Yeah, actually many letters came to me after that. Like for example, in Baltimore, there are a dozen preachers who are ready to start youth preaching in Baltimore. In Connecticut, today I had a talk with Pyare Mohan Prabhu, and they have 8 of them available there. And in Dallas, there are 8 couples ready. They are also going to start youth preaching. Then in best response has been in San Jose. Radheshyam Prabhu called all the congregation and told them to help, and there also we got about 6-8 families to begin with. But they have already progressed quite a bit. Like 5 of the boys have started we call the centers as BYS, we call it. Bhaktivedanta Swami Youth Center, like that we are calling it, youth services. So close to the temple we have one first center there. There is one in Brooklyn. Hansuru Prabhu is the president there. So he has given a place for 15 youths to stay in the temple campus. So some 7-8 are staying already. So we will be able to put another 7 more like that. Actually, to put it very simply, our goal is to populate the temples with youths. And devotee committed, dedicated, seriously practicing youths who will run the morning program. And also many of the Prabhupada disciples are very aged now. So these youths should take their association, and in turn they should give their physical energy in form of services. That is actually the goal. So that they can actually allow the Prabhupada disciples to relax, rather than training them to work so hard. In many of the temples they are struggling a lot actually. So these youths have energy and they are wanting services also. So if they can stay in the temple or next to temple, they can come and assist in pot washing, cleaning, cooking, and if they can become first and second initiative devotees, they can do Brahman services also. And they will get married if they can stay in the same city, the same community, it will be the best. And now we can work from home anywhere. So they can have job anywhere, but they can work from the same city. That is my goal is wherever I go, I want the people to connect with the local temple. I am telling them that you serve the local temple, donate for the local temple, become attached to the local deities, and become part of the local community, and increase the population. This is the goal. So these are all places where it is picking up now. But although many youth preachers are coming forward to youth preaching, for them it is new. So it's not going to be a better process immediately. In Baltimore I'm taking once in a month meeting. Similarly Boston and San Jose also. Also I am connecting one very experienced preacher from India. We are calling them as a youth preaching advisor from India. San Jose I have connected one. Actually in India, from Pune we had sent devotees to different temples in India. So we have a total of around 30 very senior leaders in the capacity of presidents and vice presidents or Brahmachari ashram leader like that. So those people I am connecting to different places in America. Anyway, we are doing offshore projects for IT companies. We can do similar thing for Krishna consciousness. So these devotees, they will get any time they want. It's like a hotline. They can just call and ask him, where is the pamphlet? They will send a pamphlet immediately. That's how they will get support in the beginning. And our preaching may be more oriented towards Indians coming here for jobs or Indians coming for studies. They may be our primary focus now. Later on, Krishna willing, the congregation devotee kids, those who are in America, some of them may pick up also very nicely. Some of them are attending our programs also. And many of the congregation devotee children are doing kirtan very well. Many of the temples, long hours they can do. Like we were hearing what amazing kirtan it was in the beginning. We can go on hearing eternally such kirtan. So what I am trying to do is I am connecting the congregation kids to the new boys. So when the congregation kids come to our retreats, they make it very lively because they do kirtan and all very nicely. And the boys certainly learn the knowledge also. So that kind of thing I am trying to do in different places. So I only come 2 times a year, January and September I come. For 45 days I am coming. Rest of the time they get ongoing support from one preacher from India. For Houston, you all know Ananteshwar Prabhu. And from India there is one Sanatandra Prabhu. So I have connected to him. But it's not that they are going to be like a supervisor or demanding report or anything like that. Basically we are facilitators. Even myself also. See, I am called as a global duty officer. Some people in America asked me, so do you mean to say we have to report to you? And I said, no. I am not coming to take any big official report or anything. I come as a facilitator, and not necessarily for every temple. My Guru Maharaj also told me that wherever somebody is interested to, and they have some faith in this style of preaching, they want to take help, you can assist them. And also, honestly speaking, I am also a new person to America. The style of preaching here, like Guru Mataji has been doing congregational preaching for decades. I am just coming just recently. So in that sense, I am like a toddler, you can say. So, but whatever systems we have been using in India, if we use it here on the Indians coming to America, that may apply very easily. Later on, we will tailor make according to what is needed for different types of audiences. And that those who are here, they will do it. Because those who have lived in America for 1 or 2 decades, 3 decades, they will do it very well. But I feel that Krishna willing and by Acharya's blessings, a good number of youths may connect to the temples, and in the coming 5 years or so, we may have, like in each temple we want to have like 20-25 youths, initiated devotee youths in 4 to 5 years, staying around the temple and assisting the temple. And we are not here to just, create an interest and inspiration and leave them. That is surely not my style at all, and I would rather give lecture to 5 boys who are ready to commit rather than give 5,000 people. I am not interested at all. Because many people can get inspired, but we want commitment. Our His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj was telling, Shoshitam Griham He was telling, don't just sow the seed and leave them. Mayavadis will reap the fruits otherwise. So he said, you should actually make them committed to Prabhupada. Yeah. That is why we are trying. Like last trip when I came, in Brooklyn and Boston connected, we had 45 youths, we took them to one Krishna lunch, Mayapur Chandra Prabhu's place. We did a camp there. Similarly from San Jose also we had 40 youths we did. Now I am going after this, Houston, I am going to Dallas. The weekend we have a camp there, UT Dallas and UT Arlington. And UNT also. All 3 together, we have like 35 youths. So whenever I come, I do retreat type of program, and I do program inside the university. And when I go back to Pune, then these people do weekly programs. So we have a well-defined syllabus. If any of you is interested, you can give your names to Ananteshwar Prabhu. We can have a group of maybe 10 or whatever number of devotees are there. Now we made a Dropbox, where we have all the folders, how are we progressing with this. And that can be ongoing guidance for you. And then you can make a beginning. The beauty is, you just do for 1 to 2 years, and you make, we have seen in India, like when I do in India, we start in July. Then it goes July, August, September, October, November, December, January, March, April, May, June. In that June, we will have 800 boys coming to Mayapur, all over India. Because we follow the same pattern, and different preachers preach in different places and bring them to Mayapur. And that is like a crescendo, like a peak camp. The 3 camps we have, Sankalp, Surti and Utkarsh. Sankalp camp, they come to 4 rounds. Surti to 8 rounds. And last Utkarsh, 16 rounds. So when they come to 16 rounds, they are willing to listen Bhagavatam and CC everything after that. But prior to that, they have the scientific dust has to be cleared. They have sense gratification propensity, it has to be cleared. Then we have to awaken the devotional disposition. So those things, there are many booklets are available. All materials are available in the form of PDFs and PPTs and video lectures. Materials are available. Any preacher is willing to take out little time. Weekly, only 1 evening they have to give. If any of you says that Saturday evening or Sunday evening, 1 evening, 3 hours I can give, and I am interested in assisting with this, I can give you a name, and we can make a beginning. In Houston, you have such a beautiful temple here, very nice, and I always meet the leaders, Radhakrishna, Prabhu Maharaj, and also we have Saranga Thakur Prabhu and Mataji, 3 of them. Today also I spent a couple of hours, more than a couple of hours with them. Last time also I had a meeting with them. So they are all very eager to see. They told me also today, if you are going for a program, please announce about this. We will be very happy to see many of them taking up teaching. They said. And you have very good universities, as Rice University. There is also Houston University, is it? University of Houston. Then your College Station, Texas A&M. Texas A&M alone has, I heard, about 60,000 students. That huge campus it is. There are clubs in these universities which can also continue doing. But apart from the clubs, we also have multiple colleges. If somebody is ready to start, there are so many opportunities. Like in His Holiness Kamakshya Maharaj's time, Maharaj was like a powerhouse, attracting so many people. This temple was flooding with people, I heard. And the temple's beauty is similar. Now his disciples have made such a beautiful construction. And today morning I was in Brahmacharya Ashram also there. I was telling them, when I see the Brahmacharya Ashram, I'm reminded of Tamaksh Maharaj, because he was very meticulous about everything he will do. They have done it so neatly. Temple Gopuram is so beautiful, the blue color, so nice it is. So I think Neela Mata is gifting you all of this. It's a nice temple and facility and community. And if you add use to that, then you will have young blood coming in, and they will all get married eventually. 90% of our boys get married. 10% become brahmacharis. Less than 10%. So naturally they will become grahastha couples. So your community will keep building over the years. And you can do a lot of good to surrounding places. Yeah. But you have very bright future for this temple. And besides practicing ourselves, everybody should make an effort to distribute Prabhupada books, do Harinam Sankirtan, preach. By doing that, our convictions will become multiplied, definitely. Thank you for the question. Thank you. Thank you. Bhajahude mana Srinanandana Abhaya Karanaya Vrindare Bhajahude mana Srinanandana Dulabha Manava Janama Satsange Dulabha Manava Janama Satsange Karohoye Bhava Sindhure Tapa Vata Varishana Devirayamini Jagire Sita Tapa Vata Varishana Devirayamini Jagire Vipale Devino Kripana Dodana Vipale Krishna